This terrarium has been completely sealed and cut off from the outside world for 2 years, and today we're gonna open it. So there's 2 reasons that we're gonna be opening up this terrarium today. Number 1 is I wanna just check the overall health of the terrarium. Now, because it still looks really green and it's been 2 years, I'm pretty sure the health's gonna be good, but I'm gonna do what's called the sniff test just to be sure. Basically, the sniff test is where you open it up, you stick your nose in, and you smell it. If it smells like a forest, then you're probably good. Whereas if it smells like rotting food, then you probably have some issues that you gotta fix. And secondly, I have a couple more plants that I want to put into it. So this is some moss. This is just picked from my yard. So normally in a terrarium that's this old and it's doing really well, normally I would say don't introduce new plants to it, especially stuff from the wild, just because new plants can introduce new diseases and sometimes they may not get along too well. But that being said, I just kind of want to see what's going to happen because I think it'd be cool to have some moss in there. And then I also have a spider plant that my cat tore up a little bit, but we're gonna put the spider plant in there. Now, this isn't really the best kind of environment for a spider plant, so I don't know if it's gonna survive or not, but we'll find out. So first things first is we're gonna open it up and do the sniff test. So here is the moment of truth, 2 years, and it's gonna be opened. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. And sure enough, yeah, that smells like a forest. It actually smells really good. It smells kind of like the plant section at Home Depot. And this looks really nice. Now I know a lot of people when they do terrariums, they would trim this back. I think I'm gonna leave it. Because pretty much my goal with this is I'm trying to make this be a pretty much self-sustaining terrarium. I know me opening it right now is kind of defeating that purpose a little bit, but I want to try to allow all this to stay in here because as you can see, there's some rotting leaves like that. And pretty much as those rot, they're going to decompose and fall back down into the soil and it's going to basically just self-fertilize. So let's get going. And I think I'm going to put, I think I'm going to do the spider plant first. So let me see. So there's this big open section on this side. If you guys can see that, I think I'm going to plant it right in there. So I'm just going to move some of this out of the way and dig a little hole with my hand here. All right. Ooh, there's a lot of roots going through this soil from this golden pothos that's in there. So we're going to take that guy and we're going to put him in. And I have a little bit of soil right here. Whoops, I'm dropping things over here. So we're just going to add a little bit of soil just to surround those roots. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm also going to water it in. So take a little bit of water and just splash it on there. Don't have to go crazy. Just a little bit. Perfect. Now, placing this moss is going to be kind of the hard part because there's not a ton of places left to put it. I have, I think, 3 pieces here. I might break one of them up a little bit. Let's see. So I think one of them is going to go kind of on this side, if you guys can see in there. So we're going to let's put the bigger one right there. It's a pretty big spot. So again, we're just going to push our leaves out of the way. Just like that. Sure, that'll work. And again, we're going to water it in. Whoops, spilled a little water. There we go. And watering it in like that just helps the roots kind of bond with that soil where it's going to be a little bit better. And then the other one, I think we're going to place on this side maybe? Yeah, I think we're going to place it over here, kind of by the rock. Yeah. Boop. Oh, upside down. There we go. That'll work, just like that. The moss, I don't know I'm hoping the moss will take off pretty well and do fine, but we'll see. All right, this last piece of moss, I might actually leave it out. Actually, there's a small piece that broke off. I'll put that over by the spider plant. Whoops. Just like that. And got a couple drops of water, not a ton. That's fine. All right, so I think that'll be pretty good, just like that. And now we're gonna take a rag and I'm just gonna kind of wipe down some of the sides a little bit, clean up some of that soil that I got on the sides of the glass. This might be a little tricky because there are some rotting leaves on the glass too. I might actually scrub those down just to make it so there's some visual clarity a little bit better. So yeah, just kind of take that and I'm just gonna kind of wipe down the glass just like that. Keep wiping. And this will just clean up all of the dirt that is on the sides. So that way, when I go to look into it, yeah, there's that rotted leaf right there. So I know I said I wasn't going to remove them, but I'm going to at least kind of scrub that off. Just because that's kind of been an eyesore for the past couple months. I know it eventually will break down, but so be it. All right, we're almost done here. So we're just gonna keep going, scrubbing that down. Originally, when I made this, I had some little bugs that I had in here, but I don't think any of them survived. I don't know if it was lack of food, lack of oxygen, I'm not really sure. But they lasted, the bugs I had in here lasted a couple months, and then they were no more. They were the little roly-poly bugs. For some reason, the name of them is not coming to my mind right now. Isopods, that's what it is. Yeah, I had little isopods in here when I first started, but they lasted, I don't know, maybe 6 months, and then they kind of died off after a while. So I'm assuming it was just like maybe lack of food. I tried putting some, originally when I started this, I had a bunch of dead leaves in here, but I think those have pretty much all decomposed. Yeah. So anyways, I think that is gonna just about do it. So it looks pretty good. I'm gonna just do a visual check, make sure I got all of the dirt off the glass, or at least as much as I can. It's a little hard with all these crazy leaves in here. But yeah, anyways, the dominant plant in here is definitely the golden pothos. There's also a little bit of, I don't know if it's mold or algae, I think it's algae. A little bit of algae growth on the sides, kind of the glass, but nothing too unusual. So I think that looks pretty darn good. Yeah, that looks great. So I think what we're gonna do is put this lid back on, and I wanna make sure the seal is all in place still. Yep, seal is looking good. Actually, I spilled a little bit of coffee on the top of this a couple months ago, and some of it was under the rim of the lid, but I didn't want to take the lid off to clean it because that would defeat the purpose. So there we go. Finally got all that coffee stains off. So we're gonna put that back on top, push it down, make sure all that air comes out, just like that. So that's gonna just about do it for this video. In a couple months, I will come back with an update on this terrarium, and we'll see if these plants that I put here, we'll see if they took off or if they died. Like I said, in the past, when I first started this, I had probably 5 or 6 different varieties of plants in here, but the only one that survived was this golden pothos, and it's pretty much taken over this whole terrarium. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and definitely make sure to check back for an update. I'll see you next time.